I'm Elisa Parker. It is the Wild and Scenic Film Festival. We're based here in Nevada City, California, and Grass Valley, California. Two old eclectic towns right next to each other, and thousands of people come from all over the world to join here together to tell the stories, to inspire activism and solutions. I say a reason to care and a solution to do, and that is Wild and Scenic. And the gem of that is the people, the filmmakers who come and participate in this festival, and we get to help share their stories. And I'm excited that Camille Morales is here with us. She has 3 films. Hi, Camille.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Where did you arrive from?
I came from South Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
But our company is based out of the Bay Area, like Mill Valley is the global headquarters.
Okay. I might have asked you this, but have you been here before?
I've actually attended before. One of my friends' films was in the festival, but now it's so cool to be back here and have one of, my
You're
own
so
films.
close. This is in your backyard.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Great. And so are you a story consultant and
Yes.
editor on theirs? Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about your contribution in the films, and 3 of them. That's amazing.
Yeah.
To have that many featured here.
It's so exciting, to get these stories of community-led conservation out there. And so my role as a story consultant is I go visit some of our protected areas all over the world, from Kenya to the Congo to Colombia, help talk with community, source story ideas. And then we have a really talented filmmaker, Leo Plunkett, who's out of the UK, that we're very lucky to have him work with us. And so I work with him and develop the stories more, and then get it to a place where, it's ready to show it.
Wow.
Amazing.
Are you traveling
like
to those
this.
areas?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's one of the wildest things that's happened for you? Maybe even connection. So there's 3 films: Blackwater, Healing Giants, Eyes on the Forest. So any of those 3 where there were some, we talk about being wild, but that were wild experiences through any of those films?
I mean, just these areas are in some of the most rural places in the world still. So flying out to the Congo, we're on a retired Ukrainian fighter jet that had been turned into a commercial jet, and you're just kind of in this rickety old plane landing on a dirt strip in the middle of the road, and someone runs out with a fire extinguisher, just because that's common practice in case the plane starts on fire. And so just staying calm in those situations. But so it's just such a journey to get out there, and then it's just such an honor to be immersed in the community and be part of dances and eating meals all together.
Yeah,
and it's
the cultural experience for it. It's all encompassing.
Yes, and where Blackwater, one of our main films, takes place on Lake Maindombe, the lake reflects the sky perfectly. So it's just such a kind of spirit, and the communities are very spiritual about the lake and just how it reflects the sky, and just land and water blend into one, and it's just
Wow, and that's
amazing to be out there.
Blackwater. Tell us about the other ones. What's Healing Giants about?
Healing Giants is the story of an elephant rescue in Kenya. Increasingly, one of the biggest threats to elephant conservation is human-wildlife conflict. So when elephants come and raid through crops, righteously, communities want to defend their food that they've been growing all year, so they'll throw spears at elephants. But then, so Wildlife Works, my company, is working on ways to prevent human-wildlife conflict from happening in the first place, but also to help heal those elephants. So it's the story of how they spot the elephants that have been injured, and all it takes to go in and take a spear out of an elephant that could get infected and kill the elephant. So It's that story of healing the giant.
Were you on site for that as well?
I wasn't on site when that actual one happened, but our filmmaker Leo obviously was there.
Okay. And the other film is Eyes on the Forest.
Yes, that's one of my favorites. So I'm a wildlife conservation scientist actually by training, and now I'm in the communications world. But this one is so special to me because it's about all the work that goes into monitoring biodiversity in tropical rainforests. There's so much work to go out and place these camera traps all over the rainforest, and so that story really highlights the dedication of the biodiversity team. They ride these tiny motorcycles out on these trails through the rainforest, all so that they can get this footage to basically show that the project is doing what it says it does, that forest elephants, critically endangered bonobos, are all returning to this area that was once threatened by logging, but now because of the funding from the project, all this wildlife is returning, and we need that camera trap footage to show that it's working. So
what are some of the key takeaways you want? So for the armchair traveler, the
Yeah.
everyday person who comes here and watches these, what do you want them to know? What kind of action could they take, or would you want them to take, knowing some of these stories?
Yeah, I think that we really just want to highlight through each of our stories, like the importance of community-led conservation. And with all of these, like Blackwater, it's the story of communities finding a way to increase their food security by having more sustainable fishing methods, but it's all community-led, and I think more and more in the world we need solutions that are from the ground up. So that's one of the main takeaways. And then also, all of this projects, it's kind of non-traditionally funded. It's through carbon revenue from protecting the forest. And I think that just in times like these when grants are getting slashed, and it's really hard to find funding, we just need all sources of funding that we can get to have climate action like this.
Yeah, what do you mean by carbon funding?
So the communities, they earn carbon revenue, which is basically, so they protect the forest, and then through different carbon accounting, they see how much carbon CO2 is stored in the forest, and then there's a certain amount of carbon credits from that, and then those credits are sold, and then that money goes back to the community. So it's through that, revenue model. Yeah.
All right, those are two great examples.
Yeah.
For it. Yeah. And that's a big change. So you went from working in comms to, or you went from wildlife conservation to this. What was that leap like?
I think I was always so passionate about communications and getting the word out. Just as I was studying and learning so much, I wanted to get the word out, and like, how can everyone not realize all this stuff is going on? So I've always been very passionate about communicating. And then, and this opportunity with Wildlife Works arose, and I'm just so grateful that I was able to jump on it.
That's incredible. Mm-hmm. How is participating in all of these now? How has it changed your life and how you show up for yourself and just in general?
I think that the more I travel and the more I work on these things, I see less and less that things aren't as black and white. Like, there's so much nuance to everything, and so I think I just approach life with more like kindness and less judgment, like, for things, because I think everyone's doing their best and nothing's going to be perfect because humans aren't perfect, but at the end of the day, everyone's trying their best and working for a good cause.
That's a really good example. Thank you so much, Camille. It's a pleasure to meet you. And are the films still screening at Wild and Scenic?
I think they've all finished now. But you can find us on YouTube at Wildlife Works, our YouTube channel, or on our website, and on our social media. Okay,
great. The films are Blackwater, Healing Giants, Eyes on the Forest. Three films. And also Wild and Scenic Circle provides archives and a library. So if you did miss them, you can also go online, but you can always go and become a member and watch the films at your own leisure in your own home. Thank you so much, Camille. We appreciate all your amazing work. It's great to have you with us here. I'm Elisa Parker, Wild and Scenic. We'll be right back. Thanks, Camille.